Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Who doesn't enjoy tossing the ball around with their dad? My son. But he's got his own idea of a good time. I have always wanted to be a baseball dad. As a kid, it was my best sport. It was probably the one I had the most fun at, but my kid is just not really into athletics like that. But it's still something we get to do together. We get out, we play a little catch, hit a couple balls, and he's been enjoying going to the Braves games, which has been awesome because that is a team I also grew up watching. And now being in Atlanta, getting to go out and see him at Truist Park and have the experience and sit down and watch baseball with my kid is just like, it's kind of unbelievable. But recently, I heard someone say something that really changed my perspective on the sport. This guy said that you need a dad to play baseball. And I can't stop hearing that thought. Kids are still learning resilience. They're still learning to, be clever and come up with new ways to do things and put in extra hours and work towards a goal. So it can be hard for them to just want to go and do something independently. So sometimes it helps to have that coach or that parent who gives them a little bit of push. And even though my kid is not into baseball as much as I would like, unfortunately, he definitely has his own interests. My son's an artist. Action figures, paint, glue.
Why is this never...
If it's messy,
All right.
he's got it.
This, unacceptable, just so you know. Too much. You got the hot glue gun on the ground, dangerous. Can't be doing that. All these toys, they're about to fall right off here. This floss, you could put one in the bathroom. One of them is for your green screen studio. What is that?
Me?
Yeah.
My arm from my Gigan figure fell off, so I'm putting it back on.
You're always in here in the mad scientist lab with no lights on. Do this. Send me the STL file.
I grew up thinking summers were for playing catch and hitting the batting cages. That's what dads did. But my son's an artist. So instead of spending time at the ballpark, we've been in Tinkercad. I spent my whole life sure he'd play sports. I know how to coach a player, but not train a 3D designer. What a lovely day. I have never done this. I've never sat out at Centennial Park. I've passed through here a few times, like going to the stadium or something like that, but haven't really spent much time here, but it's like really nice. So as my son's unofficial coach, my biggest challenge is to inspire him. You're inspired for the big win, for the championship game, for the, bottom of the ninth home run, for the prize, like the action figures that he sees. He's inspired for that. But to go from where he is now, which is a child artist who knows a little bit about a couple of things, to fully understanding how to create what he envisions, there's going to be a lot of learning involved. And in order for him to want to keep going, it takes a little bit of inspiration. But today what I had him do is a stop motion. He got into stop motions because he likes the action figures. And because he wanted to do stop motion, he had to learn filmmaking. But what he started to see now is how all of his passions and these skills are working together to help him to create something completely his own. And, my goal for him probably is for him to actually make his own figures, like make his own characters, write his own stories. Maybe I'll never see my son hit his first Major League Baseball home run or anything like that, but whatever those big milestones for him in the field that he chooses or the lane that he goes down is like, it's exciting. Watching your kids' passions develop can often reignite some of your own. Ever since he started printing, I totally remembered. I'm a creator. I don't just create videos. So let me show you some of the things I've been building. So I was just about to throw away the material for these drawers that I'm not going to need now that this is not going to be here. And then I realized I could use these to create little shelves up there. I 3D printed this thing right here, which is like a little laptop stand. This is going to work out perfectly. While my kid's been printing buildings for Godzilla to knock over, I've been putting together my desk. Usually my workspace is a mess, but now I can fully customize it with everything I need to keep things in order. Now, this is by no means a necessity, but I am a bit of a camera snob, so I will just tell you the problem I was having. So I have the Osmo Pocket 3, great camera, love it. And I don't have any carrying case for it, but it comes with this, which is fine. And there's times when I want to just put the camera into my pocket. I was like, what if I had a hard shell case where I could just quickly close it up, tuck it in my pocket, no problem. And I know that my ND filter or whatever I have on the front isn't going to fall off. 45 minutes later, we got this. Whether the lens is face out or face in, it's protected. It's got a little latch right here, and we're good. Like, we're protected. This is another $10 accessory that I would have purchased. One of the things I expect to happen with 3D printers is a lot of that cheap, like random little Amazon purchases we used to make. I think 3D printers are going to make that stuff obsolete because you're going to be able to make it at home. They're $4.99, $6.99, $7.49, like those little weird prices. You're never gonna buy that stuff again because you can make it. Hopefully your coach knows the game better than you. And since I'm raising an artist, I've had to learn to print. You gotta find something to love about everything your kid's into. Otherwise, they're just gonna be dragging you around. And since I gotta go anyway, I'd rather do it with a smile on my face. I gotta learn to be just as excited about this as he is. This is why I love 3D printers. Now, you first get it, you make a couple little figurines, and then eventually you're like, what is the practical application of this machine? And then you start thinking, what if I could personalize my life? And then you think of something that you've always wanted to buy that you would never spend the money for. And for me, it was this. This is a C-stand holder. I think this retails for like 45 bucks. Practical, useful, but do you really want to spend $45 just to take your C-stand and hang it on the wall? I mean, I want to, but I'm never going to do it. It's just way too much money. But would I spend like $4 in filament in a couple of hours? Absolutely. And that's exactly what I did. After I printed this thing, got the C-stand up, I started printing more. And basically what I've done with my closets is I've taken all my stands and completely organized my closets so they actually hold them. It's amazing. So now, not only do I have an organized place to put all my stands, but it looks kind of nice. This one's for C-stands, but I also have them for every other type of stand that I actually own. And the real magic of this is not only did I save money on actually purchasing these things, but because I can print them, I can have as many as I want. So while I won't officially say that it's saving me money, I think it's pretty safe to say that it's going to pay for itself pretty quickly. The A1 Mini is Bambu Lab's entry-level 3D printer. My expectations were honestly pretty low. I couldn't imagine that something so budget-friendly could be so powerful, yet easy enough for a child to operate. Straight out the box, you can hop into the Bambu Handy app and choose from thousands of designs that have been submitted by creators like you. Or you can jump into the Bambu Studio app and start designing 3D models of your own. The possibilities are absolutely endless. So if you're looking for a printer to get you started in the exciting world of 3D printing, I highly recommend you check out the Bambu A1 Mini with the link in the description below. And like always, keep creating. It's ironic that I want to be a baseball dad, but I don't even really watch baseball. In fact, I don't watch any sport. We've gone to some games, we've had a blast, but it's very casual. Like, I'm not like a hardcore fan. I don't really watch any particular team, but I am an artist. I do creative things, and that's what my son has attached himself to. Tinkercad is a very simple program for helping you to learn how to start doing 3D modeling. And every day I assign him 3 different modules. He goes in, he creates something, he sends me the STL file, and then we render it out so we can see what he's made. Like, I think it's important for you to be creative and not just create something that never becomes something. I think I've been thinking about this a lot lately because I recently heard someone say, you need a father to play baseball. And that's when it occurred to me. Baseball for me has always represented stability. Like, to play baseball, you need someone to throw the ball to you so that you can catch it. You need someone to pitch so that you can hit it. Like, that's having a coach, that's having someone with you that represents family. And being an independent artist doesn't. It's something you can do by yourself, alone, in a room. And what's the image that we have of an independent artist? Somebody who withdraws from society, who goes out into the woods to write books or throws themselves into bad habits in order to become inspired, a destructive lifestyle. Like, it's really insane how artists are portrayed. Art is just as much as a collaborative activity as sports, if you allow it to be. But I do think it's nice to have someone to coach you, to have a vision when you don't, to be able to push you a little bit harder than you would if you were left to your own devices. Because some of these assignments, my son does not want to put the effort into. Sometimes it feels like a chore, even though he loves the idea of the final product. The effort that it's going to take to get to the point where you can, it's not always easy. But for as much as I'm trying to teach him, I'm learning. And he has surprisingly picked up some other things. He's been watching me build my skills all his life. So he's been holding cameras since he was a toddler. And today I told him, just do whatever you want. You've been learning all these skills. Just make something fun. Make something that you enjoy. And he made his own version of Dad's Diaries. I offered no assistance, didn't tell him where to find music, didn't tell him how to set the camera up. In fact, he shot the entire thing on an iPad. Based on everything he's been learning, I assumed for this project he would do some kind of 3D print, some kind of Lego thing, some kind of organizational tool, just anything other than a version of something that I do every day. So maybe I'm rubbing off on him anyway, but it's not who I want him to see me as. It's who I genuinely am. I thought I was supposed to coach him, but it seems like he's the one doing all the coaching.